I have paid you, I've given you 6 months.
हाँ.
My child should be a winner. Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they complain a lot.
Parents को देख के.
Yes, because according to parents, it's never their fault. And then the parents came back and said that we didn't expect this, that our girls would play like that.
It's the same parents who then watch Chak De India on 15th of August in 26 January.
Yeah.
Do you have to convince parents ki why a piano class is not as important as like going to a football match or a kabaddi match?
Yeah, oh, dare we do that? I think recognition is not only a promotion or a financial, it's the kind of work you do. They are looking for good work. They
That's
are
it.
looking for challenges. We were always in a survival mode and catching up mode. First, we need to survive and then take care of everything
Yeah.
else. Now, this generation, what's going to happen is
Joining us today is Shweta Singh, founder and director of Get Out and Play India, a startup using the power of sports to shape lives of youngsters and build inclusive communities. Shweta has over 11 years of experience in strategy, research and business development and a background as a basketball and rope Malakhamb athlete. That's the first one on the podcast. In this episode, we explore what Gen Alpha and Gen Z think about the world they are inheriting, how they differ from older generations, and how technology impacts their social interactions. We'll also discuss the growing need for sports in an era where there are fewer playgrounds, the lessons her coaches and the programs reveal about teamwork, success, failure, and fostering freedom of thought. This is Superwork Podcast. I'm Anirudh. For those who are new here, I run Superwork, a podcast production company in Pune. Let's start the episode. You wouldn't believe the other day, जो मैं किस्सा आपको बता रहा था ना कि मैं आपको बताऊंगा when we start rolling. So this was in the evening. All these kids of course come out to play. हल्ला गुल्ला रहता है. So I don't do my recordings in the evenings because you literally cannot record even with the best mics. So हम लोग नीचे उतरे and I had me, my wife, other friends as well. And there are some of these kids playing, 10-year-olds. और कुछ तो भी भूल भुलैया की बात चल रही थी. And वो गाना हिट हुआ है सब कुछ. And one of the kids says, ये माधुरी दीक्षित कौन है यार? I was like, dude, we are getting old, right? The kids these days do not know who Madhuri Dixit is. That's the difference, right? I mean, हम लोग को लगता है यार ये तो है, but she was there, like she was so big in 90s, right?
Yes.
And 90s was 25 years away. But you deal with a lot of Gen Alpha, Gen Z.
Yeah.
Corporate वालों का तो पाला भी Gen Z से पड़ा है. आपका तो already Gen Alpha से शुरू हो गया है.
yes.
But tell me, what are these kids thinking? Gen Alpha, Gen Z, how do they think? Tell me a few insights from your experience.
Yeah, so one thing is, of course, my personal experience, and because I have a 12-year-old myself, and the kind of and the number of children that we are dealing with. So one, they are extremely curious about everything. For us, I think we were told to do something and we did that. For them, they're extremely curious. They're supremely confident. And very aware of what's happening around them. That's primarily because they're hyper-connected. So right now they are in an ecosystem where most of them have been born with an internet. So they have more awareness, be it anything that's happening around the world. They have a voice and they make sure that they voice their opinion. And I feel they are change makers. So it's like they know what they want and they want to work towards it. So I think they have more freedom, more creativity than us. The way we followed protocol. They do not work in a framework. They're extremely creative. They know what they want. And like I said, extremely curious.
But give me an example. So if they don't follow a framework, what do you mean?
So basically they'll always have an alternative way of doing things, right? Now even for whatever we are teaching them, being in sports or in academia. So what generally happens is that we have a certain way of solving a thing. They would always look for an application based of it, that where you're going to use it, why you're going to use it, right? And can there be more opportunities to use it? Right. So, those are the kind of curiosity and those are the kind of openness that they need. Yeah. So, that's what I see basically in Gen Alpha and Gen Zs. Yeah.
यार पता नहीं क्या खा के बड़े होते हैं बच्चे. I remember I was so underconfident when I was growing up.
Yeah.
ठीक है, मतलब दोस्तों के साथ खेलना वेलना, all that is okay. But it's just that, I don't know, was it the upbringing? Was it just the way society function कि जो बड़े बोलेंगे करना पड़ेगा, ज़्यादा सवाल मत पूछो,
Correct.
जो है वैसा ही होता है,
Yeah.
and that's there.
Yes, that's always the factor.
है ना?
You know, जो अपने अराउंड हो रहा है, that's plain. Whatever your socio-economic this is, the way your upbringing is, that's how it is. Be the boomers, I think they were the very loyal ones because they had just seen independence, they had seen the struggle, then came into the next generation, which was more like the first generation which came out of villages.
Yeah.
They were struggling with right kind of jobs, and our generation, we primarily saw those struggles. And with those struggles, we had a certain mind that, for us, we were always in a survival mode and catching up mode. First, we need to survive and then take care of everything
Yeah.
else. Now, this generation is our children and their children. What's going to happen is that they're not in the survival mode. They're already taken care of.
Correct.
Yeah? Now, what they know is, now, apart from that, now they're looking for new avenues, searching for new avenues.
Right.
And adding to that, you have these, now they have internet, they have more global presence. What we got maybe in the 90s and when we were just getting into the corporate world, they already have it from a very young age. So that awareness, this is much more. So of course, whatever is changing around us is definitely bringing about the change. They don't have to go back and think about what their bank balances are. Honestly, they live today and pay tomorrow.
हाँ, वो
Or
भी
for
है.
us, we
Yeah.
we pay today and then we
Yeah.
still have that habit. We pay today and live later.
Yeah.
So
I think millennial parents थोड़ा सा रगड़ के काम किया है, and life is a bit comfortable now. So
Yeah.
the next generation is of course a lot more. Yeah, they have a lot of space to breathe.
yeah, there's a lot of information as well, right? So as you're feeding them information, they get more aware. So what we knew is just from our neighborhood, from our newspapers, from our books. What they have right now is a click of a button. They know everything about the world.
Yeah, so easy.
Yeah. And that's where the confidence comes in as well, because, but then again, you need to see that how they're also struggling from very low self-esteem.
Is it?
Yeah. Though we say it's very high confidence, it's again because, though they are confident, how much it is projection and how much it is their own. Now that's a struggle that they're having.
हाँ.
The reason being
Interesting.
that they need to keep projecting their best, because that's the kind of information they're exposed to, that everyone is best.
It's a pressure, peer pressure as well, basically.
It's a
society
peer pressure, it's a society pressure, it's a social media pressure, primarily, right? So that's where the projection is.
And it's
there's-
going to get worse then.
Worse. Yes, of course. And that's what we see when they come in the corporate world or when they come to us. Now, this is the struggle we see. When I say curiosity, there's a lot of curiosity. But where are they getting the knowledge from?
Right.
Are they getting it from the right people? Right? Or it's
Fair
just on a Google or a click of a button from anywhere.
Correct.
So that's where the experience is missing. So what we got was through experience, which was much more authentic.
Correct.
Right. So right now, that's the second part of it. And third is, I what I very proudly say is bad parenting. Yeah. So we as parents, since we have been in a very survival mode, we gauge everything monetarily.
Right.
So because we didn't have enough, we couldn't reach a certain level, or we couldn't do these extra activities, and because of which where we are, right? So we think that everything is solved because we are, and we try to, satisfy their every expectation. Like I see children running around to at least 5 to 6 activities, be it drama, art, sports, some kind of additional language and academics, right? And the reason is that their hidden desire, that because we did not get it, if I give this, my child is going to be that. What we forget is every child has its own capability.
Correct.
Right? And then we have a certain expectation that now I have paid so much, I have done so much for you. Why are you not performing the way I expect?
Correct.
And just to project, and because they want to project in front of others, and they have seen it in social media or other places, and they have set a certain expectations, children start projecting that. So I'm giving a very simple example on our day-to-day life. Our children, we work completely at grassroots, where we do in communities. Our children come out and play. Football is a game. Now, when we go to a tournament, right? After the tournament, okay, the child has not won, or the team has not won primarily, and the parent would come and say, "Oh, we are extremely disappointed.
Why?
We are extremely disappointed because our child did not play that well. I don't know what you're teaching in past 6 months," and somehow they don't understand that subconsciously the child is taking this in, right? Because their standards are, I have paid you.
Ah.
I've given you 6 months.
Ah.
My child should be a winner,
Yeah.
right? And they should be, I wouldn't say Ronaldo, but the best, basically there. What they forget is their own continuous struggle, as their own. There are a lot of people who are consistently working hard, right, at a professional level to reach there.
Correct.
Have you taken that effort to actually take your child to a professional level? Give your 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours each day. Take that child and make him play the way you want to play. No. But what have you done is put an expectation with a price tag. That I have put a price tag and I'm sending my child, now they should.
Correct.
So what starts happening to the child? The next thing the child would do is, now that they have an expectation, so they would just want to go and show that, that the coach was bad, so I couldn't do. So the first thing for life they've learnt is complain. And if you see, I'm coming to the point that Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they complain a lot. Because it's
Is
never
it?
their fault. Yes.
अच्छा वो parents को देख के.
Yes. Because according to parents, it's never their fault. Right?
That's funny.
It's everything around you that's a problem, not me. First thing that. 2, we give a lot of medals and certificates, even participation certificates and all that. Though we think it's helping them, but in the long term, they have extremely low self-esteem.
It's a bad thing.
Yes, they know that I don't deserve it in their mind. But for that projection, they want to show, because their parents are going to put it in social media, my child participated in this, they got this medal, or they got this certificate, right?
Arey Baba re.
So they have to show that confidence that I know it all.
And it's very shallow then.
Yeah, it is shallow. And then once they're in the corporate world, we start seeing, because they don't have the experience and they have a very low self-esteem, when we put them in a real life situation, that's when the stress kicks in.
Correct.
Your stress, then you call panic attacks. I've literally seen a lot of my interns and very new generation employees coming in, and at a very young age talking about panic attacks, depression, mental health issues, right? Is primarily because they don't know how to handle the real life situation, because for last 10 years they've only been projecting.
My God.
Yeah. So so that's the generation we are.
Parents, please take a note. And it's tough here. And you get to deal with parents on a daily basis.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, it's
That's
not
tough.
easy. Yes.
That's probably one of the toughest parts of your job, I am assuming. But
I think it's
actually
even so.
sahi hai. This is actually a very valid point. Yaar. Actually, now I wonder, wherever I've played, actually, and it's not just with me, I'm sure, like, our parents never took an interest कि हाँ चलो जीते नहीं जीते ओके बस उतना ही. कौन से रेस में आया, कितने सेकंड्स में रेस फिनिश की, या कितने गोल्स किए, कितने रन्स बनाए, that was just that was a talk only for the playground and not in home. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So we were actually very lucky. We were lucky because, like I said, our parents were in a struggle phase.
हाँ उनको टाइम भी नहीं था.
उनके पास टाइम नहीं था. They had to make ends meet. Yeah, things were not that easy. So फिर so indirectly they gave us a lot of space.
हाँ correct. मिल ही जाती
to
थी
go
space.
out. मिल जाता था. And we did not have that kind of distraction or diversion.
Yeah.
Or comparisons.
Correct.
Like, I was always compared to my neighbor, but I was never compared to the world.
Correct.
or they would go to a parents teacher meeting, and then the parent and the teacher would speak about the ranks. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. But here, day in and day out, for everything in life, you're being compared.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
यार मेरे टाइम पे तो पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग भी नहीं होता था. Parents were called when the kid was doing something
yes,
stupid or nasty.
Yes.
So I think only 2 parent teacher meetings happened in my life, and both times were basically the teacher scolding my parents कि यार थोड़ा बच्चे को संभालो यार नहीं तो फेल हो जाएगा. But yeah, interesting. And how do they see the older generation? Like maybe older than them. So for a Gen Alpha, Gen Z, even like young millennials, 25-year-olds are way too old for them. 25, 30-year-olds. How do they see the other generations?
See, for this generation, I think it's also a part of the upbringing that because we have stayed in nuclear families, so health comes before anything else, right? How are they performing? How are they doing in life? There is a more gap, a generation gap, and they connect to them because the human connection has reduced, right?
Yeah.
So they now have to, whatever time they have in the day, in the years, they have to divide it into various things. Be it your academies, then they are trying to appease their parents. There are a lot of extracurricular activities. Then they want the internet time because they're born. So for us, it's like just like a phone which came in, or maybe a television. So it's just like another gadget, and it's a part of their daily life. So what happened is the human part of it is somewhere has taken a back seat here. So if you see, I see a lot of grandparents and parents, especially the grandparents, trying to take an initiative to be a part of their life. But Gen Zs and Gen Alpha, though they are aware of it, but their life is constrained towards what they are doing, rather than with the other generation. So there is a big gap, and you see that viewpoint in the corporate world as well. Yeah. So like when they come, one, they like I mentioned, they love calling the shots. Though they wouldn't have the experience.
They don't have the experience, correct.
Yeah.
But they want that entitlement. Ki bhai,
they want that entitlement. And who's given them that entitlement? Like I said, bad parenting has given them entitlement that you've not come second or third. Parents come and argue even for a 0.5% in your report card.
Oh, that's bad.
Right. So what have you told them for life? That that's something you deserve. And when you argue and when you discuss, you will get it.
Because teacher to frustrate hoke de deta hai, yaar mera dimag mat khao.
Yeah, right. What we were told was, in our generation, one, they were not bothered. And the other thing is, whatever the teacher says or whatever the school says is last. Right, and we would get a really good, backlash if we push back or if we argued on that.
See, I also liked something that you mentioned. At home there are bad parents, and then because these younger generation folks, Gen Z especially, who are in the workforce now, probably in their first job, probably thinking of quitting it. वहाँ पे ये हो रहा है कि प्रेशर में बॉस भी उनको फिर बैड पेरेंटिंग कर रहा है कि हाँ भाई चल ले प्रोजेक्ट ले लो. अब वो भी प्रेशर रहता है कि यार जेन ज़ी को इनकॉर्पोरेट करो.
Exactly.
I feel understandable, and it's not like a person's fault just because the environment around them was not correct. But somewhere, I feel talent बहुत है, and because Gen Alpha, Gen Z, they have learned the ways around internet. They've grasped information way quicker than we could have in our younger days, and obviously वहाँ तब तो resources भी उतने नहीं थे. So I think their thought process, their mind space is also in a very different league. In general, what I feel is entitlement का एक feeling रहता है. So that's one कि यार मेरे को I need to do more work. But patience भी नहीं है. Because everything is quick. Instant gratification. फट से content देख लिया, फट से message भेज दिया. हम लोग चिट्ठियाँ भेजते थे तो वही 10-10, 15-15 दिन रुकना पड़ता था. Right? So this whole instant gratification, entitlement, जो मांगो मिल जाएगा, that's not a great thing as you move up the ladder in work.
Right.
Because वहाँ पे you have to show your number, you have to show your work, you have to put in the hours. And if everything goes right and you're the best of the lot, then you'll get promoted. Then you'll move up the ladder.
Correct.
It's going to get tough.
Yes.
What can we do today to bring that sense of responsibility and bring in the sense of understanding that how real world works? वो कैसे करें फिर? Can we do that with sports?
Yes, absolutely. I think sports is an equalizer. Once you're on the ground, whatever you are, wherever you are, you learn all your values and all your life skills from sports.
It makes you humble,
Sure.
huh?
Yeah, it makes you humble. So like whenever you're on ground, you face failure head on. right? If you're extremely aggressive over a period of time when you're losing and this, you know that there's a next game when you can do better.
Ah.
So aggression completely comes down.
Is it?
Right? Yes. And if you're extremely quiet and you don't, this, you go on the ground and you start experiencing that, you open up primarily. You learn to follow. You know that just by asking for something, you won't get it. You won't get the trophy or a medal by this. You have to hustle. You have to work for it. You have to work hours for it. You need to get the right techniques. You listen to your coach. You work as a team. You strategize. You take a decision. You take ownership together. And then, now these are the life skills, if you see, are the exact life skills you're going to need in corporate world. Right? So you're already learning day in and day out, each day for next maybe 5 to 6 years. So you're imbibing this very subconsciously.
Correct.
Right? So this is one of the very good ways. And that's the reason why it's extremely important. Like I say, though we do not acknowledge it enough because we cannot quantify sports, but these life skills is something is going to take you for life. Like you mentioned, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Though you need that medal and that trophy, and the child would cry and howl. Maybe we've seen the little ones. We have under 7 and under 5 as well, and they're crying and this. But then they'll get up. Then they'll know that I want to go back. And where is the next tournament? And and they go back and they know that they won't get it unless and until they hustle and they work hard. So there is no instant gratification there. Now, how do you explain this in a real life scenario to somebody? Right?
Correct.
And where are they getting that from? Again, one part is, of course, the sports and how it's going to be. And second is, I think we also need to let them be, which I very strongly feel.
Correct.
Right? So we have, as a society itself as well, as we are discussing Gen Alpha and Gen Z, they are one of the smartest people. Smartest kids. Yeah, they have great minds, and that's why we have these unicorns today, made by very young minds. They want to make a change. They really want to make a change. They want to make a sustainable future. They are thinking of future, right?
Yeah.
They just need to get the right environment where we need to take a step back, that we cannot manage them till the end. Right? For us, we are just the facilitators.
Yeah.
The same thing goes for corporates. When they actually bring them on board,
Right.
we need to take that responsibility,
Correct.
right, of them, that they come with this. It's not that they want to be. It's just the environment has been such that they've not got the kind of exposure that we had, right? So how do we get that right? So I think as corporates also we need to give them that space.
Yeah.
And it's very important at a very young age to engage them, in sports and other kind of activities that are going to bring these life skills to them.
Interesting. But what's your response like? अभी तो इतना everything is digital, phones, tablets, major distraction and addiction more than anything else.
Yes.
Thankfully, I see a lot of parents who are very conscious कि कितना screen time देना है बच्चों को. Especially with the like a lot younger ones,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
friends of mine who are parents, तो वो बहुत ही young babies हैं. But tell me one thing, when kids come to play on the ground, वो थोड़ा aversion रहता है कि यार मेरे को नहीं खेलना, I don't want sports, I want to go home and play on the tablet or
Yeah.
वैसा कुछ.
Girls have more than boys.
अच्छा.
Yeah. So
Why is that?
there's a lot of discrepancy. One, they don't see women in their family playing. Right?
Is that a comparison they directly do?
Yes. It's a very subconsciously ingrained, a process, a thought process which has been put in mind for decades. Right? That girls are not supposed to play, because I've not seen my mother, I'm not seeing my my grandmom, and I think somewhere where love and say that we're genetically modified for that now to stay home. My first reaction is I want to stay home. I want to stay comfortable. When I go on ground, of course, like I said, there are comparisons, then there are issues, and there are a lot of things like a contact sport. Now, if my parent says that, you cannot play a contact game and all that. So there's a certain level of expectation when they go on ground as a girl, which is not the case in, when it's a boy, right? So those are one of the reasons because of which we've seen that not many girls are coming out and playing. And these are the statistics everywhere. Weekend you go to any turf, not a single girl you'll see.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other time as well. Ki not any girl, not women.
Yes, they don't. Because we have been for decades, that's been the role. Boys, men will are outside, and from a very young age, girls and boys, girls would stay inside and maybe help with the household work.
Very bad.
Yeah, but this actually impacts when you grow up as well. So
Of course.
you know,
Of course.
so when you're always speaking about equality and how men and women come in the workforce together, so there are certain capabilities, there are competencies which you grow when you do the same things while growing up, right? So are girls getting that exposure, as well as women, as this as boys? To again, to give you an example, like we had a football tournament. We were the only team which took a girls team, right? And there were no other girls team. We took a mixed team, boys and girls. And parents were extremely apprehensive. They were like, how are they going to play with boys? It's a contact sport. It's hard. It's, this. So they come with a preset mindset that my child, she'll get injured or she'll have a broken nose. And this is something I have heard while growing up.
Wow.
That who's going to marry if you're tanned? That who's going to what happens if you have a broken jaw or a broken nose or you have a scar on your face? So everything is with the end goal of getting you married. Yeah. So that's the reason why we see that girls are not coming out much. And like I said, it's extremely important in the workforce. Why we see the difference. Now, how do I see the difference? Like I have a boy and a girl as an intern. I'm taking much more time. Though they're extremely diligent, I'm taking much more time for them to work in a team, to do the kind of work we are doing, to accept failures, the way men are doing, and let go of things the way men are doing, honestly. It's as easy as that. Like boys from a very early age, they go down, they play, they fight, they hit, and they'll come back and next day again they're on the turf together.
Correct.
Girls have been I would say they've been made loners from a very young age.
Right? So jhagda hua to then they'll not get along with the other
Correct.
person.
But where did that come from? No, because they are playing at home, just by themselves.
Okay.
Their human connect has been very less.
Correct.
So very naturally it has come. That I'm not going to. I've been overprotected, right? Always.
Correct.
So that's the reason, and that's when I see that when they come in the corporate world, these are the very, very natural discrepancies you see, right? And then you start, when we talk about inclusion, that's where the inclusion should start.
Absolutely.
As a company, you need to see that, like, the difference in the way they see the situation is because of their upbringing. Yeah?
Absolutely.
And that's where I say sports becomes an equalizer. Like I spoke about the tournament, right? By the third match, our girls were going all out, taking the boys head on because it was all about technique. It was all about the mindset.
Yeah.
And then the parents came back and said that we didn't expect this, that our girls would play like that.
It's the same parents who then watch Chak De India on 15th of August in 26 January.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want their end goal, but they don't know that what exactly. But what have these girls learned? That if I take something head on, I know the process. I'm hustling equally. I'm on the same platform, right? And they would fight it out as well, right? They would hustle as well. They would lead as well. And these are the competencies that they will take, for life for themselves. So yeah, so coming back to your questions, yes, we see very, very less girls coming down. Our biggest challenge is us not taking sports seriously right now because, like it or not, India specifically is very much academics right now. It still is.
Everything is, yeah.
Yeah, you still need to have a good report card. You still need. And then when you're a child just has maybe 9 hours of active this in a day.
Yeah.
Your 7 hours are in school. 2 hours you have some language class and some other thing. Sports is a last priority for.
Yeah.
It's still.
Yeah.
Though you want the results. So what is happening right now? The top 10%. So if your child is talented, basketball player, football player, you may take the effort to actually put them in a team. But if you're not, what is that? That top 5%? Top 10%? But if you're not, they will not take the effort. So that's where we are finding the challenge because they're not being able to see the 10 years down the line. Leave the health issues. Health issues is going to be a big problem.
Correct.
Your mental health issue is going to be a big problem.
Correct.
but you adjusting in the environment and the life skills that they are missing out, which we got very naturally.
So true.
Yeah, because it's still in the last priority, be it for schools, be it for parents, be it for everyone around. It has to be others. Yeah.
Do you have to convince parents ki why a piano class is not as important as like going to a football match or a kabaddi match?
Yeah. Oh, dare we do that? We do try to educate them
Yeah.
that please understand that you've got it naturally. You had open spaces.
But
You had nobody to.
what's this whole obsession with a language class? फिर swimming को भी भेजो, फिर कुछ तो भी guitar class को भी भेज दो, फिर ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है. I do not understand, because I seriously do not understand how a kid can have so much energy to go to a school. I don't know आजकल homework देते कि नहीं school में. You would probably know better.
Yeah.
So वो homework भी कर लो. फिर forget the rest time कि वो 8 घंटे की नींद होती है कि नहीं, वो तो अलग बात है. और फिर बाकी के टाइम में ये सब करो. Piano class and guitar class and what not.
Yeah.
Do kids
It's a
really
hidden
enjoy?
desire.
हाँ?
No, it's the hidden desire.
हाँ,
See,
खुद
I
का ना
couldn't do
कि
it.
मुझे सीखने नहीं मिला तो
मुझे
अपने
सीखने
बच्चे
नहीं
से
मिला.
सिखाऊंगा. हाँ.
अब मेरे पास money है, I have the money power. Now I have the opportunity. See, I can do an online class. There are a lot of other this, so it become very easier. There's easy access to certain things, right? So language was what we did, only English, Hindi, but now there's Spanish, French. I don't know what language. People learning Mandarin. So there's more information out there. And then they have more accessibility, which is online or offline right now. So I think it's accessibility and the hidden desire, and now financially they feel, and they feel that because of this, they are, happiness comes through that, which is definitely not true. We know
So
it.
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. And they feel that, and that's what we are teaching our children, that is the success that's going to bring you happiness.
Interesting.
And that's when they come, again, when they come in the corporate world,
Yeah.
the reward system is to satisfy that. That if you reach here, that's when happiness comes in.
Yeah.
If you reach there, that's what happiness comes in. And poor beings are actually just, hustling to just, to reach that level of happiness, because that's what we've been learning throughout.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But have you seen a difference? So when the kids start playing after 1 year, 2 years, what's the difference that you notice between these youngsters?
Oh, absolutely. So we have seen a lot of difference. I'll give you an example. So there's this parent who, I have a written letter, which I've kept it with me, where she mentioned that, since my child has been going to the activities, I've seen he's become, so I was sick and he was taking care of me. He's empathizing more. He's listening more. Yeah, he's focusing more.
Very nice.
These are very hidden qualities
Nice.
that the child has gained over a period of time, because they have to, when you come for sport, it's not only you're playing for yourself, but you're playing for everyone around you. You automatically become very inclusive as well, be a girl, boy, or children with special needs. So we are inclusive.
टीम प्लेयर बनना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है.
टीम प्लेयर हमने किया है. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर हम लोग जाते थे मंडल, और वहाँ पे कुछ बच्चे थे, दे वर स्पेशल नीड्स. एट दैट टाइम वी नेवर टैग्ड. But now if I look back, I knew that, okay, I think that child had a special need. One of our friend did not have a foot. But we played together, we asked a lot of questions, and that's how we became inclusive. Right? So even now we see the same thing. Right? So like when they come down, they play with other kids with special needs, and kids are very resilient. Yeah. So,
Nice.
so that is...
At least that much is a constant. So that's a good thing.
Yes. So that is, we see a lot of behavioral changes, and those who, it's completely experiential. Sports is experiential, right? It cannot be explained.
Correct.
So that's why when you mentioned that, do you explain? We can educate, but it has to be experienced. We have experienced, but the problem is we've got it very naturally.
Correct.
So now
It was
it's very
just a part of the day, ना? तो ऐसा कुछ था ही, मतलब खेलने जाना is a part of the day.
Correct.
And
We didn't have much
kids,
better. Yeah.
I mean, I complain about it, but at the back of my mind, I also know it's needed. As I mentioned, evening times, in our society is absolute chaos.
Chaos, yes.
Kids just
That's how it
howling
should
at the
be.
top of their lungs. So I complain about it, but I also say, yaar,
Yes.
at least खेलने तो मिल रहा है उनको.
Yes. But that's how it should be,
हाँ, exactly.
Yeah.
So playing, experiencing things, ये हमको naturally आया. और अभी भी क्या बोलते हैं उसे, वो ख्वाहिश अभी तक पूरी नहीं हुई है. That's why these all 40-year-old dudes like me go and play on turfs,
Correct.
go play badminton.
Yeah.
I hope more women also start playing more sports in India.
Yeah,
That's much
yeah.
required.
Yeah.
So if you go and play on turf, so make sure that you ask your wives and sisters and friends of yours who also would love to join you. वो दिल की ख्वाहिश, वो किसका था ना, आई थिंक जाकिर खान का वो रील था कि वो जो 40 साल का बंदा जो बैट लेके जा रहा है ना, वो 40 साल का नहीं, वो 10 साल का लड़का है जिसको और खेलना था, खेलने मिला नहीं.
Now that's memories. Our best memories are on the ground,
So
playing
true.
with our children
So
for hours. Now coming back to this generation, are we being able to give those memories to them?
So
Right?
true, yeah.
Because we've become result oriented. जो हम लोग आराम से खेलते थे, आपको टर्फ में जाना क्यों अच्छा लगता है? बिकॉज आपसे कितने रिपोर्ट कार्ड नहीं मांगा,
Yeah.
राइट? अगर अभी आपको कोई बस रिपोर्ट कार्ड मांगे, द इंटरेस्ट ऑटोमेटिकली गोज,
Yeah.
राइट?
So true.
एंड दीज आर द मेमोरीज that stay with you for life and that keep you alive as well, and that makes you go back to the turf and keep yourself, active.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And there's other, and there are other scientific reasons, I would say, just to add on to that what as a 40-year-old and 35-year-old, you're motivated to go back.
Correct.
Which a lot of women are not, a lot of people are not right now. And imagine these Gen Zs and Gen Alphas who see sports as competition rather than leisure.
Is it?
Yes. Right? So what happens to them? Will they be able to get these memories, or will they be able to motivate themselves? Right? And that's why you see a lot of focus right now in gymming, these kind of activities
Correct.
right now, rather than playing sports.
So doing something that's physically active, but just because that gives you societal approval, कि जिम में जा रहे हो तो फिर अच्छा फिजिक है तो गुड लुकिंग है तो फिर
Correct.
लाइक्स आएंगे,
Correct. Exactly.
all that.
Yeah.
Man, that's nasty.
Yes.
That's bad.
But where will these memories, this camaraderie, people coming
Yeah.
together, all of this, this is an experience which has to be a big part of the life.
Absolutely.
Which we had, and I hope the next generation also gets. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember less of my school friends and more of the playground friends,
Correct.
because interestingly अलग-अलग था.
Yes. Yes.
So that's so true.
Yes.
That's so true.
So I'll give you an example. So I have been a very bad athlete. Okay? So I was in my school team for basketball. I did rope Malcolm, but I was an extremely bad athlete. So all my marathons, I was always in the last, at the last. But for me, so much so that I was almost fourth or fifth. If there are five, I'm fourth or fifth, always in the last, whatever the numbers are. But I always ran those marathons. And my memories of them is practicing with my friends,
Right.
each day going out.
Right.
In those marathons where all my friends would just, keep on encouraging me to finish it.
Right.
Right? And at the end of it, having fun, having vada pav, nibu pani. And all
Yeah.
that. So that has made me, where I am.
Correct.
That I may not be perfect in everything.
Yeah.
But then, I need to keep on hustling. I got those connections because of that. I always reached the finish line. I never stopped in between.
So true.
Or we were literally whacked by our coaches. Not whacked in the literal sense, but literally got a scolding if we stopped.
Correct. At least finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, at least finish it. So, but these are the kind of good memories and happy memories that, work with.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. इंटरेस्टिंग ना, एक चीज मुझे बहुत खटकती है अभी, एंड एज आई मेंशन्ड बिफोर वी स्टार्टेड रोलिंग एज वेल, कि हैविंग अ प्लेग्राउंड इन द सोसाइटी कॉलोनी वाज अ वेरी नॉर्मल थिंग
Yeah.
अर्लियर. एटलीस्ट गांव और टाउन्स में तो कॉलोनी के आजू में 5 ऑप्शंस रहते हैं. बड़े शहरों में फिर भी 1 या 2 ग्राउंड्स तो रहते थे जहाँ पे आसपास के बच्चे आके खेलते थे. अभी प्लेग्राउंड्स कहाँ है यार? Either there are these parks जो म्युनिसिपैलिटी बनाती है कि all the older generation and folks in the morning could just go for a morning walk, और कुछ तो भी अजीब से gyms बना के रख देते हैं. But there are no playgrounds यार. I remember playing in dirt, right? मिट्टी में खेलना is something that's such a rare thing.
Right.
I remember playing football with a rubber cricket ball, right, in school,
Yes.
because football कौन carry करेगा भाई स्कूल के बैग में.
Correct,
So
correct.
it used to be a cricket ball, rubber का ball, वही football है.
Correct.
We used to play kabaddi in, not on a mat, we used to play in dirt. जो चोटें लगती थी, but मजा आता था. कुछ नहीं, बस जाके धो लो, थोड़ा सा डेटॉल लगा लो, बस घर जाके, that's it. That was the treatment, right? बट अभी मिट्टी में भी खेलने नहीं मिलता यार. देयर आर नो प्लेग्राउंड्स. वी नीड टू प्ले मोर. But thankfully, I feel some parents, some millennials are a little conscious about this. And I think it's the young parents now. Like not the previous generation. I'm saying people who are just new parents who just have like 5-year-olds. At least these are the people I observe. Say, for example, in my society, I think after a long time, a few mothers took initiative कि यार these kids kids go नीचे and क्या करते हैं, साइकिल चलाएंगे,
Correct.
हाइड एंड सीक
Chit-chat,
खेलेंगे,
yeah.
कुछ तो भी ऐसे बैडमिंटन खेल लेंगे.
Yes.
बस I mean that's playing, but
But not running around. That cardiovascular is missing. Yes,
हाँ,
I know,
मतलब
agree.
चलो वो भी कर लेते हैं.
हाँ.
But it's not the sport.
Sport, yeah.
Like playing in a team, following a few rules,
Yeah.
winning, losing,
Yes.
all that doesn't happen. So thankfully, some mothers in our society came together and said, "Ki, let's get a coach and let's start, some basketball training या कुछ badminton सिखाओ. But playing it as a sport is more important. Just blowing off steam, running here and there, वो तो कोई भी कर ही लेते हैं. But that's the change we need here. And you guys are doing that. So you basically do what? Like you take whatever infrastructure is available in a community
Yes.
and you use that to create sports around it.
Yes, yes.
So tell me a few interesting incidents if you have any. कि कुछ interesting जगह है, कुछ interesting sports आपने बनाए. What was the impact? Tell me more.
Yeah, so we built this half basketball court in a parking area for one of the societies. What we
Nice.
did was we just got a fabricator, put a pole there, and just got this, from Decathlon, we just got a board. Yeah, within 10K, we just put it up. And we just painted. We got the kids to paint with us half
nice.
court. Yeah, and this was 3 years back when I started off. Yeah, the court still remains.
Wow.
And what happened was that children, they automatically started playing. We started off with coaching, but even when the coaches were not there, they continued to play, and then adults joined.
Nice.
And every evening, like I was told that it's still there, and people are still using it.
Very nice.
So the moment you have the infrastructure, the smallest of it, and you tell them how to do it, the automatic this is you will go and play or do that kind of a physical activity. So that's one thing. So that's why we do it the smallest of space. The only thing is we need to tell them how to play, right? We have space. We have enough space. Even if you have a small lawn, that's enough.
Correct.
But do they know what to play? The reason why they are doing cycling and all that is they don't know. So one team we taught them Kho-Kho. Right? We had a summer camp, a 40-day summer camp, and a summer camp was multiple sport. We did kabaddi, kho-kho, volleyball, handball, and with that's a main sport like gymnastics and basketball. The moment they learnt it, they continued to play that even when we were not there.
Very nice.
So the only thing is that they don't know how to play. Once someone is there to teach them that, then they enjoy. You have to learn the skill for sure. Right? And like you said, now the spaces are coming so they need organized space because we don't have time to teach them. Previously, we learned it by ourselves because we had those many hours, and we had this space, so we learned. Now you want somebody in an organized way to teach them. And once they do that, then it's for life.
Yeah, that's
They'll bring
the
other
little
people.
push that they need.
Little push that they need, and they can invest. So it's extremely important to put them in organized
Nice.
kind of spot, yeah.
Super. And lastly, tell me one thing. Like all the insights, all the ideas, all the observations that you've made, you've seen, you've experienced. Tell me a few that could come in handy for corporate leaders, managers who are inheriting, so to say, Gen Z into the workforce, welcoming them into the workforce. What should they be aware of? And any ideas, insights that you think you can share that would come in handy for them?
I somehow feel that we are almost using the same HR processes, the same kind of formula, which was being used maybe 6 to 7 years back or maybe even 10 years back.
You're saying for recruitment?
Yes. No,
Okay.
the policies.
Okay, policies.
Like the HR
okay.
policies, the employee engagement policies. We need to understand the perspective from the other end, like the Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. One, of course, health, wellness, mental health, and all that. It definitely comes in forefront for them. Their requirement are not superficial, what we say, that if we give them a certain kind of dress code, we have some bean bags. I think you're undermining their intelligence, which is already being done for quite a few years, right? Now, how do we need to change that? Is something I think we need to challenge them on. What they need is they need that the food for thought. They always need to be fed with really good information, things to do.
Correct.
Right? Now, we need to understand that there'll always be, even our reward and recognition system is the old way, right? And that's the reward and recognition system they have, grown up with. So you can't appease other. So what do? You are bringing a very low self-esteem person with a very curious mind and bringing onto the on board and not recognizing them, because you cannot reward, because a corporate world is very different from, he's got medal when he was 10 years old, 15 years old, 18 years old, because his parents make sure that he had a compliment, he got a certificate or a this. Right now he's coming with that confidence that, I will win the world. Right? But whenever he comes to the corporate world, we are going with the same systems of reward and recognition and all that. That has to change, because the confidence goes down. As company, we are responsible to bring that back to them. I think recognition is not only a promotion or a financial, it's the kind of work you do. They are looking for good work. They are looking for challenges.
Well said.
Right? So those are the things, like I say, I give a very good example, this of martial arts. You get belts, yellow, green, blue, red, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're looking at,
Yeah.
that they need to keep upgrading. It may
Interesting.
not just be promotion. So one thing is that you need to, completely have a clean slate and bring them on board, build their confidence, change the entire policy. Wellness and that, of course, it keeps on, and the engagement part of it, that has to change the way it is. And when we mean inclusion, it cannot only be inclusion by percentage.
Yeah.
30% percentage women, 40% women.
Yeah.
What are we doing at that level to change the thought process?
Yeah.
There has to be a change in the thought process as well, because the Gen Alpha and Gen Zs, especially the women, they also know what they want.
And they'll start questioning you if you don't give them.
And they'll start questioning. Exactly. And that's where they need to be it any kind of a policy, which we are seeing a lot of change, be it like the maternity policy, the recruitment policies, the engagement policies. I'll just share, we still face a problem. So I was doing quite a few corporate events before. And one of the things which I saw was, we still have the football leagues, we still have the cricket leagues, and on a very continuous basis. So so subconsciously, you are sending a message that you're catering to only certain sector of the workforce,
Right.
which, because it's going on since generation, and you feel the employee engagement is measured on that.
Correct.
But you're forgetting you've hired 30-40% from a different gender.
Right.
So what is their requirement? Okay, we'll do a badminton tournament. No.
Because badminton is women friendly.
It's women friendly. Again, you're segregating that.
Correct.
Right? We have Women's Day event and only women attending that. The biggest this is, right? In this sporting event. So again, you're segregating them.
Correct.
Inclusion is not about segregating and having separate something for them. The policies should say that they are inclusive. Right. So then these are the things I think, I think companies now need to start thinking about Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and the kind of onboarding process and the kind of information they come with is way ahead of what you think it is.
Yeah.
Right. So I think these are the few things which I feel, and most of all, I think they need to be challenged and they need to be believed in.
Yeah, very insightful. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
So so someone needs to believe. So I think the companies should take on that. Yeah.
Lovely. I hope that some of the leaders were taking notes. Insightful, but amazing conversation, Shweta. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
And I'm sure a lot of corporates will take a lot of notes and insights for how they can work with Gen Z and the upcoming generations as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Lovely.
Great.
So I hope you found the conversation insightful. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It's Podcast Pay. We have some lovely, insightful conversations and honest ones, in fact, about work, life, and success. So I hope this brings you a lot of value. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.